before I mentioned this. Yesterday or day first day, what's the name? Asked me to how to practice patience. Explained. But you see, first we have to have a strong understanding of how the anger is bad, how the anger is harmful to you. If you don't know that, then you don't practice patience. Even you study bodhisattva patience and so then just feeding the computer, just putting the brain or putting the computer, just like that. You just learn, just feeding the computer, this information in the brain or I don't know. So just that, but you don't practice. I've learned, I've received teachings, I've learned, yes. But you learn a lot, but you receive a lot of teachings, but of course we all receive teachings a lot. Many times heard about patience a lot of time, many times, but that's in practice, you see. And so then, that's why we have a question, how to practice patience. So then the anger normally rises so powerfully, then you see that patience is not there, then, yeah. But you see, in the practice patience, what pursues the practice patience? You have to know the anger is so harmful. So when you rise anger, you don't follow karma. Even though you receive teachings a lot, you receive Lamrim teachings so many times. Lamrim Chenmo, for example, many Lamrim you receive many times. But you see, when you practice patience, when you get angry, you see, so while you're angry, then you don't care, you don't think about karma, you don't think virtue, the present action has virtue, then result only happiness, the present action is non-virtue, then result only suffering. The problems in this life, there's so many problems, then also Lord elements of other, then the problems in larger lives, hundreds of lives, then thousands of lives, millions of lives, some the anger, the affect on so many lifetimes. Even you're born a human being, but it affects so many lifetimes, you see. It harms you, it destroys you, harms, makes very negative. Even you're born a human being, but it destroys many lifetimes. So it's like that. Many hundreds, thousands, millions, billions, whatever goes on like that, as long as you don't practice. So like that, And of course, if there is no police, if there is no telephone, immediately to call police, or if they don't have urgent emergency calling, if they don't have that in the West, for example. Well, I think maybe now, I don't know, they might have India, I'm not sure. So, if you don't have that, then it's so easy to kill family members. So it's always happening. So if you are under control of anger, then not much to think. You kill yourself, you kill others. It's like that. So what's that? It's very dangerous. So you see, what you remember is how the anger is so harmful. You have to know that. The mind becomes violent. Mind, you see. Then, so, because so depend on whom you get angry. So I talked already before. So Bodhisattva Shantideva, great Bodhisattva Shantideva said, Kawa Tongdo Sabai, Jindan Deshe Chola, so Kijiji Jambache. So for 1,000 years, please listen, for 1,000 eons, you made offering to the gone to bliss ones and made charity to other sentient beings. For 1,000 eons, so merit collector, you see, making offering Buddha and charity for other sentient beings. By rising anger 1 second and destroys all the merits. 1,000 eons you collected by making offering charity to the sentient beings. Then by rising anger 1 second, you are a bodhisattva, so somebody who is a bodhisattva gets angry, then destroy all that merit 1,000 years ago. Took that much time, but rising anger 1 second completely get destroyed. You understand? Completely get destroyed. You have to know that. How anger is dangerous. So first of all, so difficult. Even we practice Dharma, you see, trying to practice Dharma, but it doesn't become Dharma, holy Dharma, it becomes old Dharma. Old Dharma, attachment to this life, old concerns, that becomes the motivation to gain the reputation, the power, all the the pleasure of this life. To learn Dharma so that I can be learned, I can collect many disciples, I can be famous in the world. So like that, you see. So, I do retreat, yes, I do retreat, I become famous, and I get a bunch of power, then become very famous, and then I become a great meditator, then also like that. To become old, to become, you're famous in the world, same people say that you're a great yogi or some meditator or something like that. So anyway, even we tried to do something, but didn't become Dharma. Very difficult to become pure Dharma. And even to become Dharma, very weak, become very weak in all the non-virtues. So, then strong attachment, strong anger, strong pride, strong this, strong that, then all the Nigrama is very strong, like that. Then they became the big Dharma so weak and so like that, you see. So at least it became Dharma, and the Holy Dharma. Then collected marriage 1,000 years ago, so long, unbelievable long. Oh, but then you see, didn't practice patience, and then anger rises, the non-bodhisattva, you non-bodhisattva, then you get angry 1 second to about somebody who has bodhicitta, you don't know, you have no idea, then just by looking outside, just that which is just your own projection, your own mind view. What you see is just view of your own mind, as your says, as long as your own mind so impure, full of mistakes, so impure, then you see that the person whom how you see is the view of your mind, so or you see ordinary being like that.